Special Olympics lands in Orlando, Florida, but some of the athletes have trouble with commercial flights. That's where Textron Aviation comes in. For years, they have organized Dove Flights. It's a program in which the owners of aircraft volunteer to transport these special athletes to the competition.
It was awesome. It was my first time ever flying and having fun with some friends.
It was fun. I was really nervous. I've never been on a plane before in my entire life, but I liked it how we went right off. It was a blast.
It felt really good, and it was scared for the first time, but I got used to it.
What was the best part of it?
Being with my friends and teammates.
It was fun because we rode on the clouds and it got kind of bumpy.
It was cool. I've flown on bigger commercials. I think private planes are easier to get around in.
It was very fantastic. It was a neat experience. I never really flown on private jets before because I normally do commercial. Because my family travels out a lot. We have been to so many places, and I'm so thankful for my family and my friends that are coming here to support me this week.
Not only were the Special Olympic athletes treated to a private flight to compete in Orlando, Florida, but they were greeted by one of the greatest athletes of all time, two-time Super Bowl champion, quarterback Peyton Manning.
It's a real honor to be here. I'm honored to be the honorary chairman of this airlift and proud to be here on behalf of Textron. It's been great to meet all of these athletes. You know, I know a thing or two about competition, and it was always important to arrive ready for the sport I was playing, to be at my best, and it was all about teamwork. And this is a very important competition for these Special Olympics athletes. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, and the airlift allows them to come here, arrive ready to perform, to give their all, so hopefully they can all bring home a medal. It's an impressive amount of teamwork, like Ron said, involved to make all of this possible. All the good folks at Textron, they are really kind of the quarterbacks of this event, and the team members are all the customers who have been so generous to donate their planes and their time to make the trip of a lifetime for these Special Olympics athletes. So I'm honored to be here. Good luck to all the athletes. We'll be pulling for you. I know you do your best. Thank you.
We first got notified by Textron that they were going to do the airlift for the Special Olympics, and having bought a new airplane from Textron just about a year ago, I was excited from the moment I saw it, and I wanted to participate and give something back.
The amount of volunteerism was incredible. Once the word went out that this was the Special Olympics and they needed several hundred airplanes to fly almost 1,000 athletes to these games, the phones just started ringing, and volunteers from all over the country, either corporate or privately owned aircraft, called in and said, we want to participate. We've done it before. We've seen the smiles on these kids' faces and how for many of them it's their first flight on an airplane, and they're literally in awe of this whole event. A lot of them have gotten to meet Peyton Manning today, who's on the ramp, shaking all their hands, and they had no idea he would be here. So it's just been a fantastic experience.
If you saw the faces when they come out, the chests pumped up, they're so excited. Some of them handed me a card for thank yous. I'm saying, no, you have it all wrong. I'm the one that's thanking you. They take so much joy in it, and I just love being supportive of the whole effort.
It's very rewarding. The two people we brought in today, the father had only ever been in an airplane once, and the son had never been in an airplane. The fellow is in the Special Olympics. They had a great time. They chatted and talked the whole way. They were so excited.
It was probably the most enjoyable flight I have had in years, flying these people down here today. Sort of like the first time somebody sees something. For a lot of them, it was their first time in an airplane, let alone a small airplane, and it just made me feel terrific inside.
This all started with our home state and our home delegation back in 1985 when the Kansas delegation reached out to Cessna Aircraft Company to see if we could get some help with transporting them to the USA Games. And it started with a couple of airplanes, and 8 airlifts later, we've transported more than 10,000 athletes.
certainly is a special event, and FAA has to work with our interagency partners to make the Dove call signs even possible. We work with Customs and Border Protection and Department of Defense. When they authorize it to use the call signs like Dove 1, Dove 2 for an event like this, it does help our team because we're able to filter out all the traffic that's inbound here to Orlando Executive.
It's actually so exhilarating too to hear almost every call sign on the radio frequency is Dove 25, Dove 33, Dove 144, all of these Dove call signs. Then when you're coming in and you just see one airplane has just taxied off, another one has just departed in front of me, 2 more are lined up to go. It's quite the operation.
Dove flights to transport Special Olympic athletes is just one of many humanitarian efforts in which the business aviation industry is involved. With me to talk more about that is NBAA President Ed Bolin. Ed, can you talk to me a little bit more about some of those efforts?
Well, you know, every day business aviation is flying cancer patients to treatment centers, reuniting combat veterans with their families, flying organs for transplant, responding to natural disasters. But today is a really special day. People volunteering their time, their aircraft, and bringing Special Olympics athletes to the games. This is completely volunteer, and it's one of the most exciting days in business aviation.
Why do we do this? Why do we do this? We do this for the athletes. It is special to be able to provide them air transportation here. It is really special to see the high fives, to see the smiles, and to do something for these wonderful, wonderful athletes. And that's what's motivating us to be here today.
And best of luck this week to all of the incredible athletes as they compete in the Special Olympics. And thank you to Textron Aviation and the business aviation industry for their selfless participation in Dove flights. Doing good isn't a competition, but if it were, the business aviation industry would go home with the gold.